Good day, everyone. You are now a junior high school student at Calamba City Science Integrated School. I am Rex De Jesus Bibal, and I will be your teacher in English 7, Philippine Literature. I hope you will enjoy our journey as we unravel the Philippine literature and other competencies involved in English 7. The first lesson this first quarter is about completing an analogy. This lesson deals with developing critical thinking by analyzing and completing an analogy. This also includes deeper appreciation of patterns in terms of words and pictures. You are expected to identify analogy and its basic types, supply words or expressions that complete an analogy. Write an example of analogy and decide on the various benefits of seeing connections between words, terms, and concepts. Okay, before we proceed to the discussion proper, let us first try your schema or your skill in trying to complete the sets of analogy. Your task is to observe the figures below. In your notebook, you draw the fourth figure that matches the pattern. For the first figure, you draw it on your notebook. Okay, let's check the answer. Do you get it right? Wow, that's awesome. How about the second item? Let's check your answer. Do you get it correct? Bravo. How about the third item? Are you done? Let's check. Great. You're learning. How about number 4? Let's check. Bullseye. And lastly, number 5. Very good. Who got 5? 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0. Wow, I am confident that you did good. Now, let's try to dig deeper. But first, let us try to define what analogy is. Analogy is a powerful tool which challenges and encourages you to think critically. It is a strong device used to show connections and comparisons between unlike things which highlight how they are alike. That is by Barbacena, 2010. Furthermore, an analogy shows the relationships between words. It states the likeness between two things that are otherwise unlike. Analogies may enable one to learn new words by recognizing the relationship between words. Example: English is to language as mathematics is to arithmetic. The above stated example vividly shows the connection between English and language and mathematics and arithmetic. English is basically the subject that is focused on language, while mathematics deals primarily with arithmetic and numbers. Is it clear? Moving on. Colon. Colon plays a very important role in completing an analogy because the colon is used to split the analogy into two parts. The first part is the left-hand side of the double colon. English is the language, while the second part is the right-hand side. Mathematics is to arithmetic. Keep in mind, guys, that the first set of words presents a relationship that is the same or alike as the second set of words. One possible way to read or verbalize an analogy is like this. English is to language as mathematics is to arithmetic. Did you get it? Wow, I'm pretty sure that you are learning at this very moment. Furthermore, my dear students, this is also to inform you that analogy has a lot of types, and one of these types is synonyms. And as we all know, synonyms are words possessing the same meaning. Example, happy is to joyful as pretty is to cute. We all know that when someone is happy, he or she is also joyful, and pretty is and cute both pertain to the physical attribute or a positive attribute of a person or an object. So, therefore, we have synonyms as relationships of the two terms. Happy is to joyful as pretty is to cute. On the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we have antonyms, which are words opposite to each other in terms of their meaning. The classic example is huge is to tiny, as hot is to cold. Obviously, both terms contradict each other, making it antonyms, the second type of analogy. Third, part to whole or whole to part. One term is part of the other. For example, wheels is to car, as petals is to flowers. We all know that wheels are part of the car and petals are part of the flowers. The second example is heart is to circulatory, as lung is to respiratory. We all know that both of them pertains to the body systems, and heart is part of the circulation and lung is also part of the respiration. Now guys, we are down to the fourth type of analogy, which is characteristics. They mostly comprise descriptions of items. Check this example. Guava is too nutritious as instant food is too unhealthful. We all know that guava is a very nutritious food, and instant foods like noodles, canned goods, chips are very unhealthful and a threat to our health. So, this means that we are showing the relationship of the terms, which is characteristics. Now, the fifth type of analogy is function. The function shows what a certain object is for or explains its use. Example, keyboard is to type as stove is to cook. So, we focus on the function as the relationship of the left and right terms. Now, I'm pretty sure that you are all familiar with the sixth type of analogy, which is the cause and effect, which obviously shows the cause-effect relationship. Consider this example. Study is to graduate as hard work is to success. Obviously, when you continue your studies, eventually you will graduate. And when you are so hardworking, most likely you will be successful someday. So these terms focus on the cause and effect relationship. Now, the seventh type is the category or type, which means one term is type of the other. Let's check the example. Phone is to gadget and cabinet is to furniture. The relationship goes this way, that phone is a type of gadget and cabinet is also a type of furniture. So as you can see, the relationship focuses on the type of the given example. Bravo! There you have it, the 7 types of analogy. Let's do some review. Can you enumerate the 7 types of analogy? Let me help you. Let's do it all together. The 7 types of analogy are the following: synonyms, Antonyms: part to whole or whole to part, characteristics, function, and category or type. Now, let me challenge you with this exercise. You identify the relationship of the following example. Are you ready? Let's start the ball rolling. Soccer is to sport. What do you think is the relationship of soccer and sport? Next, persuasive is to convincing. Persuasive is to convincing. Now, gills is to breathing. Gills is to breathing. Are you ready for the next item? Starvation is to overeating. Starvation is to overeating. Next, swift is to sluggish. Swift is to sluggish. Are you doing good in your notebook? How about this? Sweets is to toothache. Are you familiar with this? Okay, moving on. Hero is to selfless. Hero is to selfless. Next, kitchen is to house. Do you love to stay in the kitchen of your house? That may be a clue. Now kids, let's check if you are already an analogy wizard. Number 1, soccer is to sport. Right, category. Next, persuasive is to convincing. Convincing means persuasive, so they are synonyms. Gills is to breathing. Yes, fish use their gills to breathe underwater in order to survive. So it means function. Next, starvation is to overeating. When you are hungry, you tend to overeat. So that is cause effect. Swift is to sluggish. Swift means fast and sluggish means slow. So they are antonyms. Sweets is to toothache. When you eat too much sweets, there is a very big possibility of you having toothache. So that is cause effect. Hero is to selfless. Most of the time or all the time, hero is selfless or altruistic. So it means characteristics. Kitchen is to house. We all know that kitchen is part of a house, which means part to whole. How many? How many items do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now, who got 8? Wow, that is so awesome. How about 7? You also did well. Don't you worry. How about 6? You practice more. Okay, now, moving on. Let us try this. Apple is to fruit as A. Salad is to mix. B. Orange is to banana. C. Juice is to can. D. Slice is to core. And E. Butterfly is to insect. Which do you think of the following has the same relationship as apple is to fruit? Next, pen is to write as A. Pencil is to sharpen. B. Ink is to blue. C. Letter is to compose. D. Knife is to cut. And E, mistake is to erase. Next item. Large is to big as A. Remember is to forget. B. Triumph is to success. C. Nostril is to smell. D. Audio is to hear. And E. Glasses is to see. Take your time. Next item. Bat is to hitter. As A. Score is to win. B. Walk is to run. C. Mars is to Venus. D. Stick is to hockey player. E. Basketball is to hoop. Are you done? Let's move on. Forecast is to future as A. Wikipedia is to website. B. Active is to passive. C. Regret is to past. D. Jolly is to cheerful. E. Rain is to slippery road. What do you think is the answer? Okay, let's see later. Now, let's check your answer. Apple is to fruit. Of course, as we all know, this means apple is a kind of fruit. Therefore, we have butterfly is to insect. Did you get it right? Wow. Number 2, pen is to write as knife is to cut, because you use pen to write and also you use knife to cut. Large is to big. They are synonymous. So let's look for the two words which are synonymous. Yes, that's letter B. Triumph is to success. Bat is to hitter. Okay, so the hitter uses bat. As hockey player uses stick. So stick is to hockey player. Now, forecast is to future. As regret is to past. Because we forecast the future. Of course, and we cannot regret the future. We always regret what happened in the past. There you have it, my dear students. The discussion, examples, practice exercises of the lesson completing an analogy. It's a wrap. That concludes the first week, but you're not yet done. There are more learning tasks for you to accomplish in the module accessible on our Google Classroom. Kindly check it out and manage your time well. Well, up next, identifying genre of the material viewed. But for now, this is once again Teacher Rex, your English teacher, wishing you safe and awesome day. Thank you. Bye. See ya.